Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. You know, buying a new TV should be one of the most exciting tech purchases you can make, but let's be real, it can turn into a total headache. You're swimming in a sea of confusing specs, weird problems, and just tough choices. Well, today, we are going to cut right through all that noise.
So picture this. You've done all the research, you've spent the cash, you get that giant box home, and you set up your beautiful new screen, only to turn it on and the picture just looks, well, a little off. It is such a common, frustrating feeling when that shiny new tech doesn't quite live up to the hype right out of the box.
So that's what we're here for. We're going to tackle this from both sides. First, I'll give you some quick fixes you can try right now on the TV you already own. And then, we're going to walk through some real-world buying decisions to help you pick out the absolute perfect TV for your next upgrade.
Okay, here's the game plan. We're going to start by taming that annoying motion blur. Then, we'll step into the ring for a couple of major TV face-offs, and we'll wrap it all up with 3 super simple rules you can take with you the next time you're ready to buy. Sound good? Let's do it.
First up is a problem we hear about all the time. You splurge on a fantastic, top-of-the-line TV. It's supposed to have this incredible picture, but then you're watching a movie or a game, and any fast movement just looks kind of blurry and weird. So what is going on there?
This question comes directly from a viewer, Shan2481, who noticed this exact problem on a brand new, very high-end TCL TV. And whether it's the blur of a golf swing or a big action scene, I think we can all agree it can be super distracting. So the short answer for Shan, and for anyone else seeing this, is a big, resounding no. That is absolutely not what you should expect. And the really good news? You can almost definitely fix this, and you don't need anything but your remote control.
See, your TV has these really powerful tools built right in, but the default settings aren't always what's best. So here's what you do. Grab your remote, open the settings menu, find Picture, and then look for something called Motion. You can start with the presets, low, medium, high, but honestly, for the best result, look for the custom sliders, usually for blur and judder reduction. Just play around with them. You'll probably want a different setting for movies than you do for sports, and tweaking these can completely change how your TV looks.
All right, now that we've solved a common problem, let's dive into a really common choice. We are wading into one of the biggest debates in the premium TV world. It's LG versus Samsung, a true battle of the OLED giants.
This one comes from Margot. She's upgrading to a 65-inch TV for her living room, which gets a fair amount of natural light. Her top priorities? Amazing picture quality and a real cinematic feel. And the two contenders are the LG C5 and the Samsung S90F, a classic showdown.
Now, at first glance, these TVs seem really similar, right? I mean, they're both called OLED, but, and this is a big but, they use totally different panel technologies. The LG uses a traditional WRGB OLED panel. The Samsung, at this size, uses something called QD OLED. And trust me, that one little difference changes everything.
So what on earth is QD OLED? Think of it like a super hybrid. It takes the perfect, inky blacks that we love from OLED and then uses these tiny quantum dots to basically supercharge the color and the brightness. The result is a picture that is way more vibrant, way more colorful, especially with high-quality HDR movies. It's the tech that directly delivers on that cinematic viewing Margot is looking for.
So for a main 65-inch living room TV, the verdict is in. The Samsung S90F is the clear winner here. That QLED panel is just going to give you a superior, more colorful picture that really pops even if you've got some light in the room. Really, the only reason to even think about the LG is if you find its predecessor, the C4, on a massive, massive discount. But if picture quality is your #1 goal, QLED is definitely the way to go.
Okay, let's switch gears. We're going to pivot from the super high-end OLEDs to a much more practical fight in the mini LED market. This is where you can find some amazing value for your money, but you really have to know what you're looking for. So, a viewer brought this one to us, a 75-inch Panasonic W95A versus the very popular TCL QM8. And here's the tricky part, the Panasonic is on a fantastic sale, which makes it super tempting. But is a good price tag the whole story? We got to look past the flashy numbers and dig into the details that matter every single day. Okay, let's put them head to head. The operating system, Fire TV or Google TV, that's really just personal preference. They're both great with HDR formats, both have modern ports. So far, so good. But check out the tuner. The Panasonic has ATSC 3.0. That means it's ready for 4K over-the-air broadcasts. That's some nice future-proofing that the TCL just doesn't have.
So, on paper, that Panasonic is looking like an absolute steal, right? But with TVs, there's almost always a catch. There's usually one hidden flaw, one little limitation that can be a complete and total deal breaker, depending on what you use your TV for.
And boom, there it is. And for gamers, this is a huge one. On that Panasonic W95A, you cannot have variable refresh rate. That's the feature that gives you super smooth, tear-free gaming, and local dimming, the feature that creates deep blacks and awesome contrast. You can't have them both on at the same time. You have to pick one. Now, if you just watch movies, this means nothing to you. But if you're a serious gamer, that's a massive compromise, and it makes the TCL the better choice, even with the Panasonic's tempting sale price.
So after going through these real-world problems and choices, what have we actually learned? What are the big takeaways? Let's boil all of this down into 3 simple, easy-to-remember rules to guide you the next time you're on the hunt for a new TV.
Rule number 1, master your settings. Don't just live with the out-of-the-box picture. As we saw with that motion blur problem, spending just 15 minutes in the menu tweaking things like motion, color, and brightness can make a good TV absolutely great. And hey, it costs you nothing but a little bit of time.
Rule number 2 is to know your panel. That big OLED showdown proved this point perfectly. The biggest thing that determines picture quality isn't the brand name on the bezel, it's the actual screen technology working behind it. Understanding the difference between something like a standard OLED and a QD OLED is how you get that amazing quality you're paying for.
And finally, rule number 3, find your deal breaker. The Panasonic and TCL battle showed us that even a TV with a great spec sheet and an amazing price can have a hidden fatal flaw. Before you even think about buying, you have to decide what you absolutely cannot live without. If you're a gamer, maybe it's that full VRR support. If you're a sports fan, maybe it's top-tier motion handling. Figure out your non-negotiable feature first, and the right choice becomes so much clearer.
And that kind of brings us to our final thought for you. What's that one feature for you? What's your personal deal breaker? Is it having those perfect black levels for movie night? Is it the smartest, fastest user interface? Or is it having 4 full-speed HDMI 2.1 ports for all your consoles? Knowing your deal breaker is honestly the most powerful tool you have.
And that's our deep dive for today. If you enjoyed this episode, please do us a favor and like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.